Welcome to the Gentleman's Cave podcast, and on this episode of Internet Moments, we have a video of a guy talking about women. And when I mean women, do women really back women up? Do you guys really support one another? What's your take? Don't say nothing yet. Let's play the video.
If it's one thing women know how to do really good, it's keeping other women single.
Yeah, for
Women
sure.
give other women the most horrible advice ever.
Yeah, I agree.
So that they can be single just like you. They really have a clandestine jealousy for women who are in a relationship. No one's looking for you. You're no man's first choice. You're absolutely no man's first choice. Saying how you don't need no man and how we don't need y'all. What do you mean we? Lady, you're only one person. What do you mean we don't need y'all? You are no man's first choice. Stop trying to recruit these young girls and have them recycle your way of thinking to pull them on your side, because these young girls and women that are aligning themselves with the interests of men, they have a chance to go on and have a happy and healthy, fruitful relationship. You don't. But now you're trying to recruit more and more women to come over there and be lonely with your ass.
Damn. That dude was spitting facts. From my perspective, though, what do you think, Felicia?
Well, first off, if I want to understand this, it's all about him saying that women love to see themselves single.
No,
Okay,
no, that's not what he said.
what did he say?
The video is about, he's saying to women that you gotta be careful who you get your advice from.
Okay.
You gotta be careful who you take as a role model, because most of these women who are not in a relationship, who are single or who are divorced or separated, they don't wish you well.
That's right. Okay.
That's what he's trying to say. So you gotta be careful, because they're literally recycling. They're trying to imprint themselves into you, the younger one. What do you think about that?
Well, I would give that a 80% truthfulness. The 20%, now it's the reason why I want to give. You want to hear me give that reason for 20%? Okay. So yes, he's right. Like I said, 80%. If you are in a relationship or in a marriage, and you want you have a problem, right? And then you feel or deem it right to go meet your friends who are not in a relationship, who are single, let me use that word. Yeah. Majority, but it all depends on the kind of relationship you have with those people, though. There are some friends, even if they are single, they still want the best for you. Yeah. Because you cannot take out the fact that there are still good people that exist.
Yeah, there's still good people out there. That's true.
As a matter of fact, they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So if you as a person have friends who are telling you, or giving you wrong advice, then you should check yourself too. Because how are you a friend to those kind of people? So that's my point. So what I'm trying to say is, if you as a person have issues with your man, and you go to your friend, you should be able to give you good advice. So that's what I'm saying. It's not correct 100%, but it can be truthfulness in what he said, because of course there are some friends who are friend enemy, like we call them, that would give you wrong advice. So it all depends.
From a man's perspective, I feel like women, you guys get dealt a really, really, really bad hand when it comes to finding mentors or finding good examples to emulate.
What about your mothers?
Very true, and that's including your mothers. Because, yeah, to a certain extent, it does include your mother. As a matter of fact, not to a certain extent, it starts with your mother. Just like a man's lifestyle with his father. A little boy's life starts with his father. So whatever role model, whatever example the father is setting out there, that's what that little boy is growing up seeing.
Okay.
And same applies to a female child. A little girl gets everything from her mom. And then if she has an elder sister, she then emulates the elder sister as well. So my thing is, I know that you can't do without friendship. We all need friends, male, female. We all need buddies and people to be there for you and with you. Is it difficult to find good friends? Yes, extremely difficult. I believe good friends are actually, it's a blessing, and blessings,
and they don't come easy.
Exactly, blessings don't just come like that. They come because it's the due time for them to come, or they come as a result of hard work. Now, when you have that guy saying what he's saying about bad advice from female, but it's, haven't you seen it though?
Like, let me continue. That's why I was kind of like not certain how to answer that question. Now that video isn't actually a full video, right?
Yeah, it is a full video, but that's just
I mean the one we just watched.
Yeah,
but
that's
my point
extract.
is, it all depends on what you mean by advice and what situation. Maybe I should add that in. Because now I'm thinking, is it that you're saying somebody's in a relationship or is married, or a lady, and then she probably had an issue with the man, and issues like, oh, the man is beating her up or is like domestic violence, and she goes to talk to her friends about it. Now, when it comes to, we are saying bad advice. So if the friend tells her, hey, you got to leave that marriage or you got to leave that relationship, so would you guys see that as a bad advice? Because that's where I'm lost.
Okay, before I answer your question, so many times, whenever that happens, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, the guys are always ending up with the friends, the exact same friends who were saying, "Oh, he's such a bad guy, he's a terrible person." You end up finding out that guy is actually sleeping with them, or even cheating, or even now proposing to them, and you're like, but you were just saying that guy was terrible, and now you're with him, or now you're sleeping with him.
Okay, so that's a blessing. You know what I said? So for that woman, it's a blessing because now you know you don't have a good man and you don't have a good friend. So
it's easier. It's easier said from a third perspective. If you are actively involved, if you were the receiving party, the person who got jilted on or cheated on, you wouldn't say it this way initially. You wouldn't say, "Oh, it's a blessing."
No,
you are going to be pained.
You would not. That's natural. But I'm talking about in a sense of advice. If anybody tells me, like I said, common sense. Listen, guys. I preach about common sense a lot. It's not common, but that's why I always want to emphasize on common sense. If I go and meet somebody and the person tells me, and that sounds like I said, domestic violence, for example, and the person tells me, "Oh, stay," we get that always. It's everywhere. The grass is not greener on the other side. Just be patient. Pray. It's gonna change. Do you think I'll say that person is does that relate to being a good friend? Because to me, if you ask me, that person is not a good friend. If you should be telling me, oh yes, that is, especially if you love me, you'd be like, yes, that situation right there is bad. If you guys cannot work it out, girl, bye, let him go. That's a friend. So if at all she says that, which is to me is a good advice, and then she goes behind me later on to go have something to do with the man, that's on her, because she's gonna see that what I left or what I'm trying to leave is actually what I said it is. It's not. I'm not coming to form steeds or say, oh, I'm not trying to make up a story so you could sympathize. It's what I'm going through. So what makes you think you can change that man? So if that happens, like I said, it's a blessing. So in that sense, I'm saying a friend who would tell me something is good simply because they want to appear to be good friends, I don't get it. That's not a friend. Every friend you tell such should be able to advise you and say that's wrong. Now it's up to you to want to work it out, and if you have tried, because of course as a friend you're going to keep coming back to her and say, oh, this is not changing, he keeps telling me I've done this, I've said this, it's not changing, and you want to make that friend keep saying, oh, don't worry, you make it work, No, if you're telling me that all the time, then there's a problem. You're not my friend.
Okay, now that's a very rare scenario where it's not rare though. Good friends will give you good advice. So we're talking about like terrible ones, which in majority of female relationships and friendships, That's pretty much what it is. The woman. Okay, let me give you now. I usually ask this question when women dress. Largely, women dress to look good, largely because of the competition out there.
Competition with
other women.
No.
That's
your perspective.
Yes.
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
I might not be speaking for all the women out there, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm speaking for some women out there. When we dress, like we say, we dress to kill. We don't dress because we want to compete with our fellow women. No. We dress because we want, is the truth, the opposite sex to see us and say, whoop. But that's also secondary. First thing first is feeling good about ourselves. That's why we want to dress, like keeping fit, wanting to, you would like that. It's like it's a boost to your womanhood. Like you want to go out there and feel comfortable in your skin. Then that's the first thing. Then secondly, like I said, for
comfortable in your skin when you're standing next to another woman and you're like, oh, well, thank God, I'm good, I'm looking great. No. What's that?
If you are comfortable in your skin, if you're comfortable with yourself, if you know you've dressed to kill, the next woman who you see, she don't even bother you because you know who you are. You know that you are complete, well, as a woman. So that shouldn't bother you. What bothers us, like I said, I'm speaking for some women, correct me if I'm wrong, is like I said, a man standing next to you or whoever looking at you and saying, "Whoa, that's a cute girl right there, or that's a cute lady right there." That's kind of like a boost to us. It's like, okay, I'm being admired by the opposite sex. That's and it's natural, it's biological, it's very natural. That to me is the second reason. But sometimes it could be the first reason for some women. So it all depends, interchangeably. But like I said, it's for us to feel good and, of course, attract the opposite sex. Or if not attracting them, but making them see you as who. Because, of course, if you have your man, right, and your man introduces you to his goons, you want to be able to have them tell your man, who you made the right choice. This lady is top notch. That's what we want to hear. We don't want to get out of the room and your dude is telling you, guy, are you blind? How come? What happened? Of all the beautiful girls, so that's what we don't want. So that's why that happens, in my opinion.
So why do women take other men's husband? If not, because I'm coming from a point where I kind of relate with him that women's enemy are women.
Well,
that's what he's literally trying to say. Yes.
In that, like I said, it all depends on where it's coming from. So if that's where he's coming from, yes. In that aspect, because somebody won't say, and it's like a norm now, or when people say, oh, I'm leaving my husband, and they ask you why, you're like, because he cheated. And then look at that woman couple years or even couple months later, you ask her if she's seen anybody and she says yes, ask her who the person is. You'll be surprised many a times it's somebody else's man that she's dating. And you ask yourself, why are you putting another woman in the spot where you were and you felt, used and demoralized? Why do you feel the need to put another woman in that kind of situation? So in that aspect, yes, many women, or that's why we say yes, some women are some women's downfall or enemies. Yes.
What about ego? Because and there's a saying which I always throw out there: one thing women dislike is accountability, self-accountability, like holding themselves accountable for their wrongs. So there are many of these women out there who have lived this treacherous lifestyle, divorced, separated, cheated, whatever the case may be, zero tolerance for BS, ego beyond the roof, whatever it is, and they are living happily married with their dogs now, or living happily, or pretending to be living happily with their pets. Those women should not be giving advice to the younger ones. Those women, to me, it's like, if you're single and I'm married, I gotta watch the advice you're giving to me.
Okay.
Because we're not in the same status. I've been married, I'm married. I know if I wanted to listen to anyone, I would be privileged to listen to someone who is married, or someone who is being married, because they have the experience.
Right.
They may be divorced now,
right,
separated, but they have the experience.
I was going to come in with that.
No. I changed that a little bit. They have they've had the first-hand experience. They know things to look out for. But at the same time, depending on the lifestyle they're living presently, will determine if I'm willing to listen to them or not.
Okay.
Because if they are on the bitter end, imagine a guy who now has different kids because his first wife cheated on him, and now he doesn't even take union seriously. He has no time for his kids. He's now living a wayward life. He got negatively affected by the divorce or separation. Do you think I should listen? I should take advice from such a guy?
Yeah, no.
Exactly, because
Right.
his situation is caught up.
If you guys are saying women, I beg to differ. I don't think you guys should generalize. Because not all women fall in that category. Some women are, like you said, they've been there, done that, and they've learned their lessons. So if they are calm enough and have repented from whatever it is they've done, I would really listen to that woman, because she's going to give you an advice that you would be like, oh my God, really? Because she has been there, done that. And so if it's coming from her in a good way, why wouldn't I? She has every lessons.
So in a nutshell, how do you figure out if this advice is true?
Again, that's why I use the word common sense. I mean, you can't be telling me shit like, oh, do you know men are useless? Do you know men are scum? Do you know you're not even supposed to be with that man you call a boyfriend or a husband? I mean, why don't you just want to live your life and be happy? Okay, when you're saying that to me, then I'm going to be like, okay, what are you trying to do? But if you come up to me and say, hey, listen, I've been there, I've done that, this is what I did that got me here, this is what I did that, if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have done this. So I want you to rethink, go back to the drawing board, do this, do that. Common sense, that's somebody who's talking. But if you want to be stupid and listen to somebody who's telling you men are scum, men are this, you shouldn't be with any man, you should be even the single, you should not, you should, some people say just get with them for their money, and I mean, if you're telling me that, then there's a problem.
You know what? I think we should add a true or a false to any of these videos we watch. So to that video, do you see truth to what he's saying, or what he's saying is complete baggage?
Can they be in between?
Yeah, they can be in between.
Okay, because like I said, in some aspect it's true, in certain aspect it's not. So I will be in the middle.
So in this case, it's a 50-50.
50-50.
Gotcha. Well, I agree with you too, because it depends on where the advice is coming from, how it is being delivered, and you, the receiver, just using common sense, like Felicia said. With common sense, you can easily tell if this person is giving you sound advice, or if they're just playing with your emotional intelligence, or they just don't have your heart, whatever the case may be. But you, as the receiver, you have a right to decline or accept any advice or any suggestion given to you. And all you have to do is open your mind, take away emotions or sadness or whatever it is that's affecting you at that point, and apply common sense. Anyway, guys, that's another episode of We Just Breaking Down Internet Videos. Please do like, share, and comment. We really love for you guys to follow us. It will encourage us to do more videos. And Felicia, what's any last words for them?
Yeah, like Jamie rightly said, follow us, like, comment, and I would love to see your views on these topics. We would really be encouraged to bring more videos. So yeah, thank you.
All right, that brings it to the end of this episode. Have a good one, guys.
Bye bye.